小林さん、
本当にありがとう。
リセロッテを。こうして二橋。
What a beautiful and emotional storybook ending for Endo and Kobayashi. I don't think that I have been this satisfied with an ending, especially in a romance anime, since like Horimiya a couple of years ago when I started the channel. And it's crazy to think that it's been a couple of years already, but like I don't think I've been as satisfied as I was with this ending. Not only, at the end of this episode, not only did we get to see 𝐒𝐿 get defeated, not only did we get to see Liselotte come into our world to help, assist, and talk to Endo and Kobayashi and save Kobayashi. Not only did 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬 and Lise and Endo and Kobayashi get to have one final conversation before they said their goodbyes, but then at the end of the episode, and this is what anime should do sometimes, is like just go that extra mile. At the end of the episode, Lorena, she's like, oh, she does the, oh. I don't even know what the hell it was. She does her super spell. And she makes cast rainbows and shit, and she warps Endo and Kobayashi to their world in their actual form, like actually themselves. She basically isekais them into that world. And I was like, that's the epic coolest thing ever. And they get to participate. They get to, they get to say hi to, they get to meet everybody for the first time. They get to participate in the wedding. They get to be in the wedding photos. They get to say all this really cool stuff. It's like, that's so cool. They could choose if they wanted to. They could choose to just like stay in this world and just like live as like just be isekai into this world if they so chose to do that. And you have to remember, this is a fantasy world with like magic and all kinds, like they could totally just stay in this world if they wanted to do it. And they could do it with the favor of Lorena, the god of this world now, and the king and now, future queen of this world. It's an option. But I just thought it was just so cool. Even if they just get yeeted back to the other world, they've established a relationship not only with all these people, but then also a god or goddess in Lorena who can probably still establish communication with them at times. Because if she can bring them, she can send them back. She can probably bring them again. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was just so cool. It was a beautiful spell, and I loved being able to see like a storybook ending. Like it's all fiction, right? So I loved being able to see this storybook ending to this story that it defied reality anyways. So I just thought it was just so cool. And it was just such a really cool ending. And at the end of the episode, with 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐬, he gets to hold up, he looks at Endo and Kobayashi, he holds up Lise, and he princess carries her and he kisses her. He's like, I vow to you guys to never let her go again. And just stupidly, like I've told you guys before, if it's your first time here on the last episode, hey, welcome. But if you're familiar with the channel, like I'm an emotional dude. Like I allow myself to get enveloped by these shows and by the writing, and I allow myself to get affected by the writing, and I get emotional and I cry sometimes and I laugh. I've ugly cried and laugh cried before, and I allow myself to have those emotions because I think that's how you can really connect with a piece of media or a piece of literature, is to really allow yourself to get kind of consumed by that when you're really enjoying it, right? So at the end of the episode, I was like, I didn't cry, but like I was teary-eyed and just like emotional. I was like, this is cool. Like I love that feeling to have like this like blissful end. And I just think it was just so good and so cool. And not enough people talked about this anime this season. I just think it was just so good. And even like everything else that occurred this episode, I just think it was just so good. Like I would almost say this episode to me was like a 10 out of 10. I would probably give this anime overall a 9 out of 10. There are nitpicky things that I have throughout the season, which is why you always kind of have to dock a point. Nothing in the world's perfect. But like this was like a almost masterful type anime show with a perfect ending. And I feel really satisfied, and I just want to promote it more and tell more people to watch it, as should you. But the rest of the episode, though, we picked up from last week, and we picked up where Endo and Kobayashi were trying to figure out what the hell to do about her sister. 𝐒𝐿 and Lise were trying to just help it anyway. Lorena, through Lise's praying, she was able to, get spirited away and become a little doll that Kobayashi had created. Before that, Lorena had established connection with Endo and Kobayashi through the TV and through them, and she was able to tell them where 𝐒𝐿 went. They went to the university with her sister. While they're there, they didn't show up with weapons or anything. I literally wrote down that they showed up with fanny packs in a dream, but they used their words to really demoralize 𝐒𝐿. And once Liselotte appeared, she really demoralized him. She ripped him to shreds. Before she appeared, though, Kobayashi started to get succumbed by toxic jealousy, similar to how Liselotte was before. Liselotte kind of pulled her out of that and then called Endo out for not being real with his feelings, just like 𝐒𝐿 wasn't before. And he confessed to her and everything. One thing that I'm never a fan of in anime is it's a common misconception. From what I've studied before, most characters say like daisuki, and that really just translates to like I like you. And he said I like her. She said I like you, but then the subtitles say I love you, but aishiteru or whatever, however you say it. I know I fucked that up, but that's how you say I love you. So they don't really say I love you, they just say I like you, but the subtitles are always like I love you. It's like, well, no, they just said they liked each other. It's cute, but he didn't really like say, oh, I love you so much, but he could have. Would love to have seen that more. So that was a little, nitpick there at the end of the thing. But at the end of the day, her breaking through that, Lise confronting 𝐒𝐿 ended up breaking the spell, the barrier that he had that stopped Lorena from peeking in, and she was able to yeet him and yank him out of the real 𝐒𝐿, and she's going to seal him away inside of her. We also found out that 𝐒𝐿 was a very sickly kid, and that during, when he was sick as a kid, 𝐒𝐿 came, enveloped his body, but also cured him of his illness. So although he was, he was apologetic about the things that 𝐒𝐿 did, he also was very appreciative because he may not have seen the next day if 𝐒𝐿 didn't show up originally. So he was like, I'm apologetic, but at the same time, this is the guy that saved my life. So, So I just really appreciated that little extra context. I thought that was realistic, and I thought that was really cool. And then obviously the episode ends with what I started this review off with, which is just, them getting married and everything else that happened. But incredible episode, masterfully written, really enjoyed it. I thought it really conveyed a lot of emotion, happiness, turmoil, all of those things that, you would want in an anime. And it provided good context for a lot of things like I just mentioned about the 𝐒𝐿 stuff. So overall, fantastic episode, fantastic series, and if it gets a dub, I will rewatch it day one. I think this was just a really, really cool and unique anime that I've never heard of anything like this before. There's been dating sim animes and stuff like that, but never to like this degree. Even anime that have been centered around a dating sim are either just the person playing it or the person getting isekai into that world. This one's kind of like totally different and very unique on the genre. So really appreciate that as well. And I also appreciate you being with me all season long. Let me know your final thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for being on this journey and this ride with me. And I'm so glad that we got a really satisfying ending to this anime, because these do not come too often. So we just have to appreciate it and pray to the gods that out of thankfulness for getting a really good ending like this. So I'll see you guys in the springtime for more spring anime. Check out the video where I kind of went through all the spring anime that I'm going to be watching. And if you don't want to watch that, I'm going to put out a video probably this weekend, depending when you're watching this video. The end of March, I'll be putting out a video of the 10 anime everybody should watch in spring. All right, I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace.